All right, we got to delve into a deep, troubling discussion. It's trending all over social media right now, and I'm going to connect it to a story that we've already been talking about as it relates to Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. We have another controversial racial topic. I believe the man's name is Deshawn Leeth. He's known as some sort of community activist. He got involved in a police conflict and got shot by police. And there was an early movement to frame this as another example of out of control police officers shooting and harming an unarmed black man. Well, now the body cam footage has been released, and this was someone probably clearly strung out on drugs, probably clearly, or he is Superman. Because on the side of this highway, a police officer did everything in his power to disarm this man, calm this man down, gave him every opportunity to avoid being shot. The police officer used his taser, and Deshawn Leeth just kept attacking and attacking and attacking, and left the police officer on the side of this highway, no choice but to shoot him. All over Twitter, all over X, I'm sorry, everywhere, everybody's talking about this. And the other thing that everyone's talking about is what we've been talking about on this show ever since it happened on April 2nd, is the aftermath of the Carmelo Anthony murder of Austin Metcalf, and how they've turned that situation into some sort of whodunit racial conflict. Was it self-defense? I've been arguing, hey, this feels like a psyop. There's not two sides to this story. Kids at a track meet, two teenage athletes, can't get in some sort of verbal conflict and have one of the kids draw a knife and stab him in the heart, and then in the aftermath, for people to start a GoFundMe, then a Give, Send, Go, and now this kid's family, Carmelo Anthony's family, has raised $400,000, $500,000 on a Give, Send, Go, and the next thing you know, there's some idiot, retarded spokesperson named Dominique Alexander, who is advising the family. And he's the Al Sharpton of Texas. He's got some organization called the Next Generation Action Network. Sounds like some kind of play off of Al Sharpton's National Action Network. And I'm watching Dominique Alexander, who has a criminal record, who's been incarcerated several times, not for long stretches, but he's been incarcerated lots of times, including, I believe, in 2009, this Dominique Alexander got in trouble for child abuse. His girlfriend's 2-year-old child, they say, shook so violently, 2-year-old child shook so violently that the child was significantly injured. He had to go, Dominique Alexander had to go to court, got some sort of probationary sentence, but had to do a week in prison. This is in 2009. And then since then, he moves on, and in 2014, he starts piggybacking off of the Michael Brown Ferguson situation and starts the Next Generation Action Network and decides he's a community activist. And that's where I'm connecting Dominique Alexander, a guy with a shady past, a guy with a history of getting involved with law enforcement, getting involved with the criminal justice system, branding himself a community activist, a spokesman for the black community. This is one of the biggest, longest, most dangerous grifts going. Everybody gets to call themselves an activist. And so this Deshawn Leeth, and we're not going to play the video because, YouTube won't reward it, and it is a violent video, and it's a tragic video of this Deshawn Leeth branded as some sort of community activist. And once you put black community activist, once you put that label activist and black on it, now black people have been programmed. He's on our side. He's standing up against injustice. He's Martin Luther King. And we all must support and get behind him. And then they released the video of this Leeth character, and everyone finds out you're supporting a violent clown. And there's this consistent, strategic, hey, let's get a black man or black people in the news. They must play some buffoonish clown role, and then we'll show you through social media. I think there's some authenticity to it, but I also think there's some algorithm to it in terms of putting these clowns up, getting black Twitter, black social media to all hop behind these clowns. And it's like the job that is being done on the reputation, the way we're being framed, and the way we're clearly, and when I say we, black racial idolaters are clearly framing themselves. This is a bad look. This is stirring up a lot of racial animus. This is making black people look degenerate, buffoonish, immoral, controlled by their racial idolatry. And maybe it's all true, but it's blowing my mind what is going on. And so I think we may have a picture, again, we're not showing the video, but if we have a picture of Deshawn Leeth, who's now been shot and killed by law enforcement, that's a picture of him attacking the law enforcement officer who's tasing him. And all the people that think, oh, you can just tase these guys, you don't have to shoot them. When you watch this video and see how many times this guy was tased and how many times he just kept coming back and forth at the police officer, and he's got this black activist title, and people initially jumped to support him, and now the body cam footage has come out, and this guy is a violent criminal who the police officer, the white police officer, so afraid of getting into one of these controversies, offered that let this man attack and beat him up for way too long. Anybody in their right mind would have shot this Deshawn Leeth long ago. But this police officer put himself at risk so he could avoid the racial idolatry and getting involved in one of these stories. And now, as far as my connection to Carmelo Anthony and Dominique Alexander, again, Deshawn Leeth, on camera, idiot, doing everything in his power to make sure he gets shot by a police officer. Again, you watch this video and this has got to be an MK Ultra. This has got to be that they've brainwashed and put on drugs. How can he take all of this tasing, and why is he doing this? This makes no sense. But maybe it does. You get filled up on this much racial idolatry, they slap the black activist title on you, and this is how you behave. So I look over to Texas, where we have a 17-year-old boy with a bright future in Austin Metcalf, Christian, straight-A student, bright football future ahead of him, going to be a Division I football prospect. He tells another 17-year-old kid from another high school, hey, man, don't sit under our tent. You don't belong here. According to witnesses or police report, Carmelo Anthony says, touch me and see what happens. While reaching into a bag to get this knife, the kid touches him. And this is Carmelo Anthony's own words, according to police. He told, he put his hands on me. And that justified stabbing him in the heart. And now with people like Dominique Alexander. Like, is this another MK Ultra? This guy has a repeated history of getting involved in conflicts with law enforcement. He had this issue with a child, and he's been in and out of jail for short stretches several times over the past 15, 16 years. But he's got the black activist title. He's a community organizer, like Barack Obama. And again, this whole community organizer, we all, oh my, he's a community organizer. He must be a force for good. He must be fighting against racial justice. Or maybe this is a clown with a criminal history that is an idiot who can't string together sentences of proper English. And that's who's advising Carmelo Anthony's family and putting out antagonistic tweets. The Carmelo Anthony had his bail reduced from $1 million to $250,000. Not that surprising. But if you want to be antagonistic, here's what you do if you're Dominique Alexander and you're an installed idiot who gets to run around and pretend like, hey, ignore my criminal history. I'm a community activist. I'm out fighting for justice. And I know I can't talk proper English, but I'm the perfect representative to go in here and argue and negotiate with the police on the behalf of Carmelo Anthony's family. And my real job is to be antagonistic and to trigger people and to stir racial division. So when Carmelo Anthony's bond gets reduced to $250,000, which not that surprising, and even if it had stayed at $1 million, the family had raised enough money through Give, Send, Go that they could afford the 10%, $100,000 to get him out at $1 million. They can certainly afford the $25,000 to get him out at $250,000. The kid was going to get bond, has no criminal record of note, and he's just 17. His family's been established, and he was going to get bond. He was going to get out. What you don't do, if you're a responsible person if your job isn't to promote racial division, you don't take to social media and post a picture of yourself with Carmelo Anthony. And hopefully we can put this tweet up. Carmelo Anthony is safe at home. This moment is a reminder that a community united can never be divided. The journey ahead is long, but today we celebrate a victory for justice, for family, and for the power of people coming together to protect our youth. Thank you to everyone who stood with us. The fight continues, but tonight, Carmelo is home. Justice for Carmelo Anthony, NGAN, people power. With that picture, this is all done to trigger people, to stir racial division. I don't have a problem with Carmelo Anthony posting bond. I don't need celebratory pictures of Carmelo. What purpose does it serve? What's the agenda behind posting that picture and posting that paragraph of this is justice and blah, blah, and painting Carmelo Anthony as the victim? There's a 17-year-old boy that had his life ended, and somehow that happened on April 2nd. We're just at April 16th. Within 2 weeks, Carmelo Anthony is the victim. That's a fundraising tweet. That's a racial division tweet, post. That is someone who is sowing the seeds for conflict. That's their job. I want to play you, and we would have had Shamika on because Shamika was here. This is a video, I believe, from 2018. Shamika is speaking at a Trump rally in 2018. And Carmelo Anthony and his group are protesting the Trump rally and try to commandeer the stage and shut down the rally for Trump. Oh, I'm sorry, 2020. And here is the clip of what happened. It's about 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Play shot number 6. Stop the tape for 1 second. Dominique Alexander is the guy getting shoved to the ground. That was the bigger guy was security, not law enforcement, but security working this Trump rally. And Dominique Alexander's all up in the guy's face. He's trying to take over the stage, trying to shut down the Trump rally. And eventually security that was protecting the stage area and all that had to deal with him forcefully. Now, continue to play the clip or even start it over from the beginning.
I'm right here, Senator. Here goes the police. Here goes the police. Get out of here. Get out of the way. Hit me. Go. Call Allison and Chief out. Y'all better not put me in handcuffs. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
That's a community activist. That's someone out fighting racism at a Trump rally. They're testing me. I'm just a Trump rally. His organization started allegedly in 2014. Now, he's in Texas. Michael Brown's in Ferguson, Missouri. He starts his chaos organization, his MK Ultra organization, his racial justice organization, because Michael Brown attacked a person at a convenience store first, then attacked police officers, was investigated by the Department of Justice. It was proven that Michael Brown attacked that law enforcement officer, tried to take Darren Wilson's gun, got shot and killed because Michael Brown was an idiot. But that inspired Dominique Alexander, who long history of getting involved with police, and in 2009, again, had these allegations about him and a child and got convicted of that or had to do a short period of time in prison for that, has had other engagements that he all wraps up to he complain. Well, that's because the police don't like me because of I started Next Generation Action Network, and they just don't like that I'm fighting for racial justice. Dominique Alexander is a bought and paid for agitator whose job is to stir racial conflict. And I get when people watch this video, and I don't care what color you are, when you watch these repeated videos and you watch the alleged and legitimate behavior of some black people as it relates to this clown Dominique Alexander, and we went around and caped up for Michael Brown, who there was no hands up, don't shoot. We went around and caped up for Trayvon Martin. He was assaulting and beating George Zimmerman's head into the ground. They invented, if you watch and go dig into that, they invented the Rachel Gentile, Trayvon Martin's alleged girlfriend. It was all a Jussie Smollett hoax. But we caped up for Trayvon Martin. We caped up for Michael Brown. A career criminal, George Floyd, we caped up for. People like Dominique Alexander and Deshawn Leeth get to run around and pretend that they're black leaders, community activists. And we cape up for them and defend them. And now we've sat and watched and know a 17-year-old boy with a bright future was stabbed in the heart and killed, murdered, because someone said, hey man, get up out of this seat, you don't belong here. Them two kids had gotten a fist fight. That's what happens in high school. That's what happens with you. Stabbing someone in the heart because you have a verbal conflict with them, and now you want to claim self-defense. And look, I'm not saying it's all legitimate, but the appearance is being created that black people en masse think Carmelo Anthony was justified, and we believe this so much, we've contributed $400,000 or $500,000 to Carmelo Anthony's defense fund, which, and this ain't on Dominique Alexander, this is on the other agitators. I believe the family lawyer's guy's last name is Howard, and I think he's a white guy, I think. But then he puts out information, yeah, they're using this money to get security and they're gonna move to a gated community, a new home. And so that $400,000 or $500,000 is going to help them relocate to someplace safer and more expensive. And so people are getting triggered. And they're like, a 17-year-old stabs another 17-year-old in the heart? And the answer is $400,000 or $500,000 goes into their pocket to do what they want with the money? Really? That's the America we're living in? And the impression is, and this is one, I don't buy this part of the argument. I don't buy this part of the argument. But I get why some people do. And the impression has been created that $400,000 or $500,000 is coming in from all around the country from black people. I don't buy it. But I understand why some people do. But let me tell you why I don't buy it, and I've already said it on the show previously, but I'm just saying it again. You're talking about a demographic that'll go out to eat at any restaurant and not tip or leave a 5-6% tip and think they're justified in that. You think people that cheap are sending money to Carmelo Anthony's family? I don't know what percentage of the money it is, but I bet you it's somewhere over 50%. That's coming from NGOs run by leftists that want to use Carmelo Anthony and his self-defense and his murder of Austin Metcalf to gin up more racial animus. And black people are once again being used by leftists. You're going to be the face of this. Y'all gave up $500,000. And I'm not making excuses, because if you go read the comments on this Gibson if you go read Twitter and what alleged black people are saying with these Twitter avatars, that make them appear black, and I'm sure many of them are black because racial idolatry is that strong. But this is a really bad look. A really bad look. And people that are saying, I just don't want to be around it. I don't want to engage with anybody that I think thinks this way. And the fact that they're color coding and thinking like, hey, there's a certain group of people that look a certain color who seem to be on board with this. I don't blame them. We've let racial idolatry carry us this far out into the ocean that Dominique Alexander can reinvent himself, an idiot that can barely complete a complete proper sentence, criminal record. He's a community activist. He speaks for us. Deshawn Leeth, community activist. He speaks for us. Oh, the police killed him for no reason. Then the video comes out. Like, oh no, they had damn good reason. There'll be kids shot in Chicago, Baltimore, and everywhere else, black kids shot for 1 million times less than what Deshawn Leeth did on the side of that highway. That man carried police on an 11-minute police chase. He stole the cops' police cruiser, carried him on an 11-minute police chase. There'll be some black kid shot tonight for disrespect, saying the wrong thing, stepping on a shoe, whatever. Let me tell you how absurd this has gotten, and I'm going to land the plane. There's a rap song that has been written about Carmelo Anthony. I don't think this is some big name group, but it's just another group or another group of people that want to profit off of Carmelo Anthony's irresponsible, criminal, immoral reaction to what he perceived to be disrespect. People that want to profit off of murder. And so they've made a rap song about Carmelo Anthony. We'll play some of it here. Play SOT 7.
He said move, I said bet. He pushed me once, I cashed that check. Now I'm chilling with my publicist posting quotes while the lawyer read Psalms in a fur coat. Yeah, I gave them the truth, they want tears, but I don't cry for cameras or fake tears. They said, why'd you run? I said, why'd he touch? This ain't track and field, this is don't do too much. Media flipped it, now I'm the villain, but I'm on Cameo, signing death threats for $1 million. Mom doing press, merch linked in the bio. Meanwhile, I'm ghosting the priest from Ohio.
People that think that's appropriate, people that love rap music, this commercial rap music, that's murder music. I don't want to be around them. It's demonic. It's evil. It's killing kids. It's destroying neighborhoods. It's destroying America. We should have put a foot down and stopped this a long time. You can't dump this much poison down the hearts and minds and throats and ears of young people and not think that a demonic culture isn't going to come out of that. Words have power. And I don't want to hear, what about heavy metal music? I don't want to hear it. It ain't on the same level as this demonic, rap, nihilistic, murder each other. Any disrespect must be rebuked with violence. I'm not saying that heavy metal, whatever music, but it ain't as pervasive. Ain't nobody playing it at halftime of Super Bowls. Ain't nobody playing it inside of every gym you go into to play basketball in this country. They're dumping that poisonous, demonic music down the minds and ears of your children. They ain't doing that with heavy metal. They're destroying these kids, and there's a price that will be paid for this type of demonic energy being dumped into kids. I don't blame those of you all that's like, I don't want to be around it. I don't want to be around them anybody that supports it, anybody that tries to rationalize and excuse it. I get it. Well, I listen to rap music and I haven't killed anybody. You can be that ignorant, that stupid if you want to. The rest of us, those of us in our right mind, we ain't doing it, shouldn't tolerate it. Say whatever the hell you want about these people. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Wanted to get that off my chest. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.